The purpose of this tutorial is to serve as a general guideline for students at CSUN majoring in kinesiology who think they may want to apply to a Doctor of Physical Therapy program. Kinesiology is a popular major for students who plan to apply to a Doctor of Physical Therapy program. Although kinesiology, with an exercise science option, overlaps nicely with the common prerequisite courses required to apply to a DPT program, there are additional courses that will need to be taken. There are more than 200 DPT programs in the United States, and each sets its own prerequisite requirements. Therefore, it's impossible to list one set of courses that will satisfy the prerequisites for all schools. In addition, programs may change their prerequisites at any time. Therefore, it's important for you to do your own research about the prerequisites for the programs you would like to apply to, and to check with those programs periodically to find out if any changes have been made. The following slides contain a summary of the most common DPT course prerequisites and the corresponding CSUN courses that will most often meet each requirement. These are not absolute requirements for all programs, and you should do your own research about the programs you're interested in for a more accurate list of the required prerequisite courses. Most DPT programs require one or more courses in biology. If one course is recommended, you should take Bio 101 with lab. If two courses are required, you should take both Bio 106 and Bio 107 with lab. For the degree in kinesiology, Bio 101 is required. However, if you decide to take Bio 106 and 107 instead, they can be substituted to replace the Bio 101 and lab requirement for kinesiology. To request a substitution, please contact the undergraduate program coordinator for the Department of Kinesiology. Most DPT programs require at least one course each in Anatomy and Physiology with lab, or both Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2 with labs. If Anatomy and Physiology are taken separately, you should take Bio 211 and its lab 212 and Bio 281 and its lab 282. Please note, for a degree in kinesiology, you need to take Bio 211, 212, and 281. However, 282 is not required, and therefore it will be an additional course. The prerequisites for Anatomy and Physiology at CSUN are Bio 101 with lab, or both Bio 106 and 107 with lab. The problem with this option is that some DPT programs require at least 4 units of anatomy, and together 211 and 212 total only 3 units. If Anatomy and Physiology are taken together, you would take Bio 382 in lab and 383 with lab. This will give you a total of 8 units in Anatomy and Physiology, preventing the problem that you have with the 3 units from 211 and 212. If you decide to take 382 and 383, however, you must take 106 and 107 first. Bio 101 with lab will not be an acceptable prerequisite to 382. 382 and 383 are not required for the degree in kinesiology. However, if you decide to take them, they can be substituted to replace the requirement of 211, 212, and 281. Please contact the undergraduate program coordinator in the Department of Kinesiology to request such a substitution. Most programs require 2 courses in chemistry, and therefore you should take Chem 101 with lab and Chem 102 with lab. For the degree in kinesiology with an emphasis in exercise science, Chem 101 with lab will be applied. However, Chem 102 with lab is not required and therefore will be an additional course. Before you can take Chem 101 with lab, you must take either Chem 100 at CSUN, or you must take the chemistry placement test and achieve an acceptable score. Again, I want to underscore that Chem 100 taken outside of CSUN is not an acceptable prereq for Chem 101 at CSUN. Most DPT programs require 2 courses in physics, and therefore you should take Physics A with lab and Physics B with lab. Physics A with lab is required for the degree in Kinesiology with the option of exercise science. However, Physics 100B is not required and therefore will be an additional course. Prior to taking Physics 100A, you need to take a prerequisite, and you have several options. You can take Math 103, Math 104, or Math 105, or an alternate option would be to take the math placement test, and if you achieved an acceptable score, you will not have to take any math prior to taking physics. Please also note that if you decide to take Math 104 or 105, they each have the prerequisite of Math 102. Most DPT programs require you to take at least 2 courses in psychology, and therefore you should take Psychology 150 and Psychology 310. Abnormal psychology is usually the course of preference for the DPT programs, in addition to Psych 150. Prerequisite to 310 is Psych 250, and the prerequisite to Psych 250 is Psych 150. Psych 150 is not required for kinesiology, exercise science. However, it can be applied to your general education requirement. Both Psych 250 and Psych 310 will be additional courses because they are not required for a degree in kinesiology, and they will not be applied to your general education requirement. Most DPT programs require 1 course in statistics, and therefore you should take Math 140, which is Introductory Statistics, a 4-unit class. For more information about DPT programs, please visit the following websites. If CSUN is one of the schools that you intend to apply to, please see their website for more detailed information about their program prerequisites and other requirements.